Welcome back, everybody, for episode 3 of American Patriot. Today I'm going to take this episode to talk about the Declaration of the Rights of Man in 1789. It was approved by the National Assembly of France, August 26, 1789. It's easy for us to forget, but the French were a big ally for us during the Revolution. We know later in history that relationship carried through World War I and World War II. But at that time, the French really saw what was happening in the colonies, so much so that they gave us the gift of the Statue of Liberty. That's definitely a symbol of American freedom. And there's another statue on the other side of that ocean staring right back at us. So in tribute to that, today, I'm going to go ahead and read the Declaration of the Rights of Man. The representatives of the French people organized as a national assembly, believing that ignorance, neglect, or contempt of the rights of man are the sole cause of public calamities and of the corruption of governments, have determined to set forth a solemn declaration, the natural, unalienable, and sacred rights of man, in order that this declaration, being constantly before all the members of the social body, shall remind them continually of their rights and duties, in order that the acts of the legislative power, as well as those of the executive power, may be compared at any moment with the objects and purposes of all political institutions, and may thus be more respected, and lastly, in order that the grievances of the citizens, based hereafter upon simple and incontestable principles, shall tend to be the maintenance of the Constitution and redound to the happiness of all. Therefore, the National Assembly recognizes and proclaims, in the presence and under the auspices of the Supreme Being, the following rights of man and of the citizen. Articles. Men are born and remain free and equal in rights. Social distinctions may be founded only upon the general good. The aim of all political association is the preservation of the natural and imprescriptible rights of man. These rights are liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression. Number 3. The principle of all sovereignty resides essentially in the nation. Nobody nor individual may exercise any authority which does not proceed directly from the nation. Number 4. Liberty consists in the freedom to do everything which injures no one else. Hence, the exercise of the natural rights of each man has no limits except those which assure to the other members of the society the enjoyment of the same rights. These limits can only be determined by law. Number 5. Law can only prohibit such actions as are hurtful to society. Nothing may be prevented which is not forbidden by law, and no one may be forced to do anything not provided for by law. Number 6. Law is the expression of the general will. Every citizen has a right to participate personally or through his representative in its foundation. It must be the same for all, whether it protects or punishes. All citizens, being equal in the eyes of the law, are equally eligible to all dignities and to all public positions and occupations according to their abilities, and without distinction except that of their virtues and talents. Number 7. No person shall be accused, arrested, or imprisoned except in the cases and according to the forms prescribed by law. Anyone soliciting, transmitting, executing, or causing to be executed in arbitrary order shall be punished, but any citizen summoned or arrested in virtue of the law shall submit without delay, as resistance constitutes an offense. Number 8. The law shall provide for such punishments only as are strictly and obviously necessary, and no one shall suffer punishment except it be legally inflicted in the virtue of a law passed and promulgated before the commission of the offense. As all persons are held innocent until they shall have been declared guilty, if arrest shall be deemed indispensable, all harshness not essential to the securing of the prisoner's person shall be severely repressed by law. No one shall be disquieted on account of his opinions, including his religious views, provided their manifestation does not disturb the public order established by law. Number 11. The free communication of ideas and opinions is one of the most precious of the rights of man. Every citizen may accordingly speak, write, and print with freedom, but shall be responsible for such abuses of this freedom as shall be defined by law. Number 12. The security of the rights of man and the citizens require public military forces. These forces are, therefore, established for the good of all, and not for the personal advantage of those to whom they shall be entrusted. A common contribution is essential for the maintenance of the public forces and for the cost of administration. This should be equitably distributed among all citizens in proportion to their means. All the citizens have a right to decide, either personally or by their representatives, as to the necessity of the public contribution, to grant this freely, to know to what uses it is put, and to fix the proportion, the mode of assessment and of collection, and the duration of taxes. Number 15. Society has the right to require of every public agent an account of his administration. Number 16. A society in which the observance of the law is not assured, nor the separation of powers defined, has no constitution at all. And number 17. Since property is an inviolable and sacred right, no one shall be deprived thereof except without the public necessity legally determined shall clearly demand it, and then only on condition that the owner shall have been previously and equitably indemnified. So that is the Declaration of the Rights of Man in 1789 in France. As you can see, there are some differences between the Declaration of the Rights of Man and the Declaration of Independence in the United States, but there are some common threads. For example, they do believe someone is innocent until proven guilty, and I see also in here that the rule of law shines through, and also that property rights are defined, and there's also freedom of speech mentioned. So there's some very similar things between the two cultures, and there also are some differences as well. I hope that you take a time to reflect on the differences and similarities between the two, and recognize that overall both cultures are trying to help create a system that supports freedom. Thanks, and have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed, go ahead and click on the notification bell up at the top, and that'll let all the new videos come to you as we talk about issues related to the Constitution and our Bill of Rights. Stay free out there, Patriots.